It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And
here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Pittsburgh. Gunnar Olszewski bringing it out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Steelers offense set for their first possession here, and it's Kenny Pickett who will lead the way, the second-year man, Charles, from Pitt.
Pickett didn't quite lead Pittsburgh to the promised land in his first season as the hometown kid and franchise quarterback, but he did impress once he got in the field. Winning 7 games helped keep the vaunted streak of non-losing seasons alive in the Steel City.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw, Pickett. Pass complete, George Pickens with it. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So the completion there, Charles, looking at this defense, certainly in for a tough task here this afternoon. What are some of the keys for them if they want to come out on top?
Well, the first thing, partner, is they just allowed a completion there. They don't want to get a string of those going. Let him get his confidence. Let him get into the rhythm of the game, the flow of the game, and all of a sudden, he's feeling like he can do no wrong. You want to really get after his timing a little bit, knock a few balls away, and make things uncomfortable for him. Because if he feels relaxed, you are in for a tough afternoon.
And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
So on 4th down, the Steelers going to bring in Braden Mann to punt. Back deep is Kadarius Toney. This is taken at about the 14. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. So here come the defending champs, led out by the reigning MVP of the National Football League, a 2-time winner now in Patrick Mahomes.
There's nothing the league's best quarterback didn't achieve last season. Super Bowl trophy? Check. MVP award? Check. League leader in yards and touchdowns? Check. How does he top the season he had last year? I don't know. But Patrick Mahomes, he usually finds a way.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Nice effort defensively there from Cole Holcomb. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Mahomes to throw. James has got it. Complete. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6. 4th down, so Kansas City sends out Tommy Townsend. And back deep, Gunnar Olszewski. And we'll see what he can do on the return. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
At their own 21-yard line.
To the air on 1st down with Pickett. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up 2nd down. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
22-yard line.
Pickett will look to throw it here. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. He's on his way. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. Boy, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
From the 22 now, here's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Looking to throw, Pickett. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. But Pickett finding Johnson there. 1st down, Steelers.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down.
It's 2nd and inches.
Pickett. Looking for Pickens. He's got him on the out route. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 33.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the 1st quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Here's Pickett. And this is going to be incomplete. The Kansas City defense tough to throw on there. And now it's 4th down. So Pickett is off to the sideline, and Chris Boswell is on for the Steeler field goal try. It'll be a 47-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
I know it looks easy to a lot of people when you're kicking the ball. I mean, it looks pretty simple, right? Snap, put it down, kick it. But playing in the snow, that can throw off your timing just a bit, and that can wreak havoc, as we just saw there.
Well, it throws off the timing, and I just think it's an extra advantage for the team that's coming in to block it because they've got a hold on the offensive side, and, of course, the kicker and holder and snapper, they've got a lot to deal with.
What can't be underestimated is the person catching the ball, the holder, and putting it down. You're talking about cold hands, snowy weather, the ball can get slippery on you. It's a lot of extra pressure on that person.
And they're able to get it down, but a nice job to get in and block it. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. A dump down to McKinnon. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. They'll try for the first with Pacheco. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
A gain of 3 on the play. 1st down, Kansas City.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Call that a very strong gain of 24. In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think in clement weather plays to their advantage because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. Once more, it's Pacheco. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off. Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Olszewski now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And the Steelers set to take the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
They'll run. Here's Harris. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box, we'll be sending you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half. From the gun on 3rd down, Pickett. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Trip McDuffie with a pick.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Escape, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. T.J. Watt, the All-Pro, in there to take him down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And now he'll fire deep downfield for James. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Mahomes going to throw. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Mahomes and the offense staying out there. They'll go for it on 4th. Mahomes throwing on 4th. Man open, it's Tony. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Mahomes. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Cole Holcomb. And the Steelers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Meanwhile, Pickett's throwing to the hands of Pickens. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Pickett's throw complete to Freiermuth. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit, they recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and they will not cut into that 10-point lead.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Let's go, man. 43.
Final shot before the half for Mahomes. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. The tackle made by Landon Roberts. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco. 35 yards. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
We see this a lot on 3rd and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that makes our score 17-0.
Harrison Butker at a kickoff for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Olszewski now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Here's Pickett on 2nd down. Got an open man, it's Pickens. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
1st and 10, here's Pickett. He gets it left side to Johnson. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage.
And now off to the races down the right side. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Gets this out wide to Pickens. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 9-yard line.
Hey, Riggins, check, Panther.
Pickett, he'll look to throw it. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the Steelers are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Harris will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Najee Harris, well built for work down here near the end zone. That's a nice job there to hold him up, but I doubt we've seen the last of him on this drive.
They'll try to run with Harris, and this time he is in.
Yes.
Najee Harris taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Steelers are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And it's 17-7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays.
And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Isaiah Pacheco and the offense back out.
And you see the last drive, great chunk of yardage, the touchdown on 5 carries. And offensively, everything just looked in sync, didn't it?
It did, and the reason that it was in sync is because it's a combination of play calling, game plan, offensive line marrying up with all of their blocks. But don't forget the receivers out on the perimeter. Any type of a long run, the receivers have had a hand in that because they've occupied people downfield. And, of course, give the big credit to the man with the football. Great vision, good movement, gets to the end zone.
And that's going to be a Chiefs first down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's get it right now.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on the offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd and 7. Here's Pacheco once again.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Mahomes to throw. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 31-yard line.
They run it with Pacheco from the gun.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Now here's Mahomes. He's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
Alex Highsmith making a nice play and getting the sack.
With T.J. Watt injured for much of the 2022 season, Highsmith had a chance to emerge on his own. 6th in the league with 14.5 sacks and also led the league with 5 forced fumbles.
Mahomes going to go on 4th down.
Finds his man. It's Kelsey on the crossing route here.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Pacheco gets it up the gut.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25.
T.J. Watt picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run here with Pacheco. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Another run on 2nd down, trying to cover up. A good display of power, but ultimately it gets him just inside the 5 to the 4 and no further. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try and run with Pacheco. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
But probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
Pickett to throw on 1st down.
And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Pickett will look to throw it here.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Pickett in trouble, and down he goes. No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Now Pickett.
And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over.
Well, CD, this is the ideal situation in the 4th quarter. You come out here late, not much time on the clock with a comfortable lead, and put the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, this offense, all game long, they've been powerful, they've been dangerous. You're exactly right. They can end this one on their own terms.
Pacheco gets it again on 2nd down.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. So this one in the win column for Kansas City, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down